Photon Galaxy for you today, Adventure, Synchro, Pile, and Dinosaurs, and much more from your OTS championships. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Wow. I did not think that we would see a really competent looking Photon Galaxy deck, but this actually kind of takes the cake for a very good looking and appealing decks. I just love everything that you can do with this deck. Numbers, Last Hope, Splashing in here as a 1-up. You have double Forbidden Droplets helping you out. You do play the 2 copies of the Photon Jumper in here as well. And of course you do have triple Tactics Talents, of course, and we're siding triple copies of a Scantos. It's actually kind of nice to see the value that this punishing card kind of gives you the chance to play. So, you know, it's actually pretty cool to see. I see we're also citing the Photon Trident, and we're also citing triple copies of Tachyon Transmigration in here as well. So you have a lot of amazing options available to you for Photon. And like I said, just looking at this, you can tell how streamlined that this deck is. Actually pretty cool. Alright, we also have Cash, Money, Dollar Bills the deck, aka how fast can I shifter my opponent straight out of the game so that they unfortunately, you know, cannot. I do see here that we are playing some trap tricks down here as well. I mean, to pull out 2 copies of each of these, I mean, you're just maximizing, hey, you know, having 4 copies of, you know, these punishing floodgate cards. Very solid. Once again, the Decode Talker Heat Soul package, very normalized at this point. If you're playing Cash and you're not playing this package, I think you're doing it wrong, because getting all of this draw power while playing Cash to get into these key hand traps is absolutely mandatory. Like, you do not have a choice, I feel like, anymore. Outside of that, this build does feel very straightforward. A lot of standardized meta, I feel like, at the moment. You know, the better that these decks tend to look and the more organized that they are, I think you're going to hit a lot more high notes in the meta. Good stuff. Oh, we have, oh boy, this is Horus Thurion. We're playing Scareclaw and Visa Samsara stuff in here as well. I suppose that being able to go down the Scareclaw line does give you some interesting little combo extensions that you can actually do. I do see that we are playing the Diabolantis, and we're actually playing Packbit in here as some of our level 8 synchros. Definitely, I'm intrigued with how much filtering / extension different methods of play that this build is trying to go down. I guess I hadn't really considered like trying out a Visus or Scareclaw package in this deck, because it doesn't really feel to me like it belongs. But you know, the OTS championships this past weekend taught me that there are a lot of ideas that look very weird on paper, and people, obviously with more localized events, you get to see so much more stuff. It's so crazy out here. We have Super Heavy Samurai, Magispectors. You know, this duelist has had so much crazy success pushing this deck. Like, every single week I've been getting reports out here going, hey, we've done it again. And the deck just continues to evolve. And more people, I don't think people actually fully grasp like how crazy these pendulum scales are. Also, you know, the super heavy stuff, absolutely amazing. The Fenrir spot removal, and also being able to play the Draco Slayer stuff built into the deck effectively is very strong. We also have a Guiding Ariane down here as well. So, you know, you can pull out some Solemn Judgments to basically be able to protect your field at the end of it. And of course, the 5 punishing going second cards. I also like the fact this deck does get to do the Promethean Princess and the Ambler Whale little end board as well. You thought Fire was the only one getting the chance to do it. No, actually some of the other meta challengers are trying it as well. Oh, cool. We have an Orcust Mech Knight deck. You know, I thought that this deck was all but like pretty much done in the meta. You know, times have shifted out here. You know, Harp Horror really was not the biggest like push anymore. Like, I don't know, the deck just can't keep up with the everlasting spindle of power creep, and it's kind of unfortunate. I do see only 2 crossout Detonators. To be fair, the deck's already playing 43 cards. I feel like, I don't know, if you get hand trapped right now, I feel like you're not really in a terrible position. I do see that, hey, we're playing some deck lockdowns down here as well. Deck lockdowns relevance and the meta has been absolutely spectacular. I've definitely enjoyed seeing what this card can do as a side deck threat against so much of the meta right now. Like, people genuinely just look at this card and they're like, oh, well, I guess I just lose to this. And, I mean, that is a lot of the situation, honestly. So, good stuff. We have Sky Striker back here as well. Main decking Snatch Steal. I guess we've really reached that point in the format here where, you know, Snatch Steal, Change of Heart, just, you have to move those threats over to your field and then, well, you know, link out with them. I mean, you have, once again, a wide variety of options available to you. I see that this build is also playing a Delta and a Driver. Is the format so garbage that a Sky Striker player is forced to rely on a one-of-hand trap just to be able to set up? I guess so. I also see we're playing double Trap Trick with the double Ice Dragon's Prison, but we're only playing one different dimension ground. I guess, to be fair, the value you get on the different dimension ground for the turn skip is really, I personally think it's worth it. Outside of that, I mean, your hand trap choices in here are good. I see that, one talent's triple thrust. I mean, you're also probably going to thrust on into an engage about 95% of the time just to be able to do your thing. Good stuff. Alright, what else? It's our Synchro deck. Okay. We are actually playing the Synchro Rumble, which is really good because, you know, being able to search for the Monster Reborn off the Crimson Dragon. A lot of other decks can't really utilize it, which is kind of a shame. I see we're also playing the Junk Converter. What year is it that we're actually playing Junk Converter out here and getting away with it? I mean, you have Choke Point 1 for Ash, and then the Valor Choke Point, and then this deck is kind of done. That's why I'm surprised this deck is not playing a Valor. They opted to side it, which, I mean, is fine, but still. I see we have the Black Rose Nuke, and then, of course, the Master of Time. You also have Dark Roll or No Mores in case your opponent goes first and sets up like a crazy board. Honestly, being able to Dark Roll through a field to allow this deck to capitalize, it doesn't have a choice. You kind of have to play this card. Like, it kind of stinks if your Synchro deck, you know, can't OTK, but, you know, clearing up their field and then reverse setting up should be good enough. We have actual pure Scareclaw for you here. So, most of your Scareclaw ratios are all fine. Two of the big Scareclaw guy. Your hand traps, I mean, you got triple Ash, triple Crow, you got the triple Ghost Spell. You're obviously going to be playing triple Fenrir because you can utility option on into this. One Visus is pretty normal. We're not doing any of the other field spells except for, you know, Ray Sloth, but I mean, the multi-purposing aspect of Ray Sloth is insane. You have the double Ryctophobia. I see we are side decking 2 crossouts down here. I love how so many of these builds are just like, nah, we don't need 3 crossouts, just play the 2. You know, and just looking at it, I'm like, wow, you know, I guess it's optimized. And of course, our other favorite side deck card of the format, Ye Old Crossout Designator, because being able to stop whatever threat, or yield some limit, being able to jam your opponent from being able to play the game is very, very solid. Like, this card is disgusting, especially if you set up Tryhard. Like, what are you doing? Dinosaurs? Oh, wow. I see that we are playing a Shaddoll package in this deck. So you're telling me the Dinosaurs actually care about... They're actually... Hold on. They're playing Grista here. This is an option, I suppose. Okay. And of course, Winda, I see we are doing the Hornsaurus in here, so you can actually beam on out the Field Center. The Lost World is pretty normal. We're actually citing the Superconductor for time. Like, I do love the fact that Superconductor gets mentioned in a lot of these matchups strictly because, hey, I can ping for time. Every deck, I feel like, now needs to play some sort of time card in order to clear out the game, or you're just like, well, you know, I lose. Also, this guy has 3,300 attack points. He's not as ferocious as Ultimate Conductor, but if you do need him to, like, try to clear up something, he does what he needs to do in a specific main phase. So kind of cool to actually see this. Our last list here is Sword Soul with the super heavy samurai stuff. Once again, these pendulum scales are generically some of the best stuff that we've got in modern era Yu-Gi-Oh! And I mean, your Sword Soul cards are just 3 emergence, 1 blackout, and you got 2 talents in here. Like, that's all you're doing for your extra stuff. I see we're citing a Horus package in here as well. Is this for when things go sideways and you're like, alright, kick this garbage out of my deck, it's time to play some actual good cards? I mean, that technically does give you access to Final Ligma, so that's actually pretty cool to see. We're actually playing the Heretic Heavenly Overlord as well. Okay, sure. So, that is everything from this OTS Championship breakdown. What do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.